Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmad Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. Let's take a look at what we're discussing. First of all, we talk about Pakistan's skill development camp. That has been the talk of the town for a couple of days now, and there have been scenario-based matches as well that have taken place in Lahore. Now, it's very interesting that we gauge the performance of the team before this and what can we expect after this, because this skill development camp is expected to bear fruits for Pakistan, and it should be result oriented. But what are we trying to achieve from this is going to be very important. One thing is very, very optimistic that we're working on a pool of players now, but I won't say it's completely new. These are players that have been in and out of the team, but at the same time, you need to have a bench strength. I would really appreciate if Pakistan A tours frequency is increased alongside this skill development camp as well. So players are in the running circle and they're not off season anytime soon. So we're going to be talking about this in detail as well. And certain players that we talk about, including Mohammad Haris, including Mohammad Rizwan, including some of the bowlers, which include the likes of our pacers and spinners at the same time. We have certain details that we will be talking about on what areas have been improved for the Pakistan team, even in the scenario-based matches as well. Then we move on and we discuss the Asian Volleyball Nations League, where Pakistan has been absolutely exceptional. They face Qatar and it's a very, very important game for Pakistan. We will be talking about the first semi-final, and if Pakistan manage to win this, inshallah, they're going to qualify for the final, and we're very, very hopeful. They've played outstanding volleyball in this cup. Their victory against Vietnam, their victory against other teams. In one match, they were 2 sets down. They came back 2 sets, and in the final set, they were down on points. They took that game as well. So it's just been an exceptional performance, and we really appreciate that as well. So we talk about that in detail. Then we move on and we discuss the FIH Nations League as well, where Pakistan hockey team has returned home. Disappointment that they lost the final against New Zealand. 6 goals were just too big of a margin, but the boys should keep their heads up high. They've made the nation proud. At least, let me be very, very optimistic and at the same time realist at this stage, that at least Pakistan is talking about hockey at this moment. Look, I'll be very, very honest. They know now Sufiyan Khan. They're talking about players. The fact is that you cannot treat it as a subject which you don't want to discuss, and it cannot be only tournament oriented. I just got to know today, I was given some information that it was a very limited camp that was held before this tournament. So I mean, you can't do that, and for the next Nations League you got to start preparing now. And there are a lot of finances going into the tournament and how things have been sorted. All of these need major adjustment and overhaul, but nonetheless the boys have come back and they should be appreciated. The conditions that Pakistan hockey has been in order from there to reach the final, kudos to them, congratulations to them. Then of course you move on to a very, very fantastic festival of sports at the highest polo ground in the world. The Shandur Polo Festival in all its colors is something that you must at least once in your lifetime visit and see. It's been absolutely exceptional. It was held at the highest ever altitude, when you talk about polo ground in the world. It was absolutely majestic. People have thronged, and it's a complete blend of culture that is coming to the Shandur Polo Festival as well. So, there's a lot of activities going alongside this polo festival, and it's a treat to see for all you adventure seekers and, tour lovers as well. So, we just thought we should share this colorful news with you as well. Time now to talk mainly, of course, on our subjects. We start off with the skill development camp. We introduce our guests. First of all, joining us in studios is cricket commentator. He's an international broadcaster, presenter, our sports expert and fellow anchor, Asif Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, Ahmad. I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Also joining us is sports expert Malik Usman Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, I'm doing well.
Thank you for joining us. And also joining us is senior sports journalist and our expert Abdul Jabbar Faisal Saba. Assalamu alaikum, sir, how are you?
Walaikum assalam, I am fine. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Jabbar Sahab, what is the outcome of this skill development camp and what are we looking forward to now?
I think this is a very important step taken by Pakistan Cricket Board to hold this camp. The upcoming player had an opportunity to learn a lot of things from their seniors and their coaches, and their fitness level to maintain, especially in this hot days. It is very important. Fitness level is the most important. And secondly, I think the bowler and batsman and the spinners also learn some skills from their coaches. It's very important. And very important issue. no, you will have to maintain the team's level. It's where you will get lot of in back in space players on any position of the team.
But Jabbar sir, please pardon me, this is not the first camp and this is not the last camp. This is for sure, we keep on having these camps. What is different this time? You know, why are we so excited this time?
No, I think camps are always held by the Pakistan Cricket Board. But this camp, we have chance, we have space, time to give an opportunity to the players to learn something, and it is a good step by the Pakistan Cricket Board, and I hope this will be fruitful for the Pakistani players in the future too.
Well, certainly, and I think that pool of players that we talk about has been, like I said, that these are identified players, Malik, Usman, Ahmad. So, what kind of skills have been, worked upon? We've given all the details to our viewers. We've discussed it throughout the week as well. What's more important is the outcome and the consistency process after this.
So the problem is, what is the criteria? What are the KPIs for this? You are having these camps every now and then, and there is much hyped about that this time it's going to be different, this time it's going to be different. But what difference does that make? Most of the players are those who have been playing for Pakistan and have been in and out of the team. And now the so-called skill development program, that means they have the skills and they are developing it, right? And so you have Hassan and Aqib Javed again with the team. But that same coaches have been there previously as well. Aqib Javed has been the selector also, and he has been picking up players. But how many of them have been visiting first-class cricket teams, and how have they picked these players? Most of the players are those who have been already featuring in Pakistan, and they have not been so successful in the international arena. So have you picked any players from the first-class domestic cricket where the TV cameras don't go? I don't know. And you are talking about skill development. For that, you have to go to the grassroots level, not at the top of the level. And then you are having this for a couple of days' time, and the mentors are those players or those instructors who have been around this players and this team for some time now. I'm not so very confident what kind of skills they are developing. Are they developing 360 kind of players for Pakistan? I'm not so sure. Before they had something called hard hitters camp also. I don't know where those players have gone. How many have been featuring in the premier leagues around the world? I don't know. And then they talk about the intent. And then they have Rizwan and Babar Azam and some other players who have been dropped from T20 recently. So this camp, they have not made it clear what are the KPIs, what are the marking scheme for the players who have been good, who have been not so good, and who are the players that have been circled for the future. So if until and unless these things are blurred and not made clear before the fans, before the players themselves, I think all this is going to be very, very bleak.
Asif, Ahmad, what's your overall assessment now? This camp has been there for quite a while now, and things have worked. Now they've moved on to scenario-based matches as well. So what's your overall analysis of the camp?
Well, I think I don't want to be overcritic that what's going on, but rightly pointed out by Usman bhai and your question that what's new. So let's try to dig out that what's going on. Aqib Javed in his presser, he said that we have designated different places for the different categories. Like for under 13, we went to Sialkot, and we have decided that the Sialkot Academy will be for the under 13 and under 15 player. Then for the Faisalabad Academy, they will help out for the under 17 players, and then we will go to Multan, they will help out the under 19 players. So 3 different cities for 3 different categories. Now come to the NCA, that what's going on. National Cricket Academy for the emerging players, for the Pakistan Shaheens and Pakistan A players. They will go there and they will learn different skills, and they will improve actually different skills referred by Usman bhai that they have skills. Now the Pakistan Cricket Board is trying to develop their skills. The first phase for the batters and for the bowlers, I have watched the Mohammad Haris press conference. What he said actually, he said that I was okay with my horizontal shots, I was good for the slogging, but I didn't know that how to take singles during the crucial times. So in this camp, I'm working on it. So it's new, guys. For me, it's new. Let's come to the other point that now the second phase is where the players will work on their fitness. Fitness is really, really important. As Jabbar have said that it's really important nowadays that the longevity. And Ahmad, Nawaz have asked this question so many times that how you will go and you will play the different formats and different situations. So now the Pakistan Cricket Board said that we got enough time because right before the Champions Trophy, we had only 6 days time. So we didn't have time to work on these skills. Now we have 3-4 weeks. So we are working on fitness and fielding. So these
very interesting visuals. Not only
Yeah.
was Aqib Javed there, I saw Wahab Riaz there as well.
Yes,
I
and
mean,
not
very
only
Extraordinary stuff.
Extraordinary stuff happening at the moment.
So we have really some talented players around there, right?
how we are happy that we're watching that our coaches, mentors sitting and working with the players. It's really important. So these two things that, as Haris said, that I would have to work on strike rotation. It's really important that you always cannot go for the slog hittings.
And throughout your career, you're improving. So I think that's very important that you understand
Ahmed,
this.
what he said that actually I strongly agree with you. If you are there to learn something new, definitely when you go to the practical, you go to the match, you will bring something new energy.
Yeah.
And he said that I'm preparing myself for the red ball as well.
Yeah, people say the only person they don't want focused on learning is Rizwan. Otherwise, they're very happy with everybody learning. So there's no, Rizwan shouldn't say this.
There's
But you know,
always learning.
that's just on a lighter side. Asif, if you want to be part of any skill development or enhance your skills, we can talk to Sherazi Saab for you. He can probably help you in
No,
skill
I think you're a
development.
very good teacher. I learned from you a lot. Usman bhai, Jabbar sahab sitting very next to
No,
me.
but
So-
he's the professor. We're teachers, he's the professor. So obviously,
Thank you. Yes.
Jabbar Saab, consistency.
I would like to add something.
Yes, please.
I think this camp, one basic aim is to keep the player in contact with the cricket, and instead of resting in the, just like in many decades before, the player resting during the space, you get some rest, not going to for the tours. But this is a good system that Pakistan Cricket Board is keeping the players busy. One player would learn. I think Mohammad Rizwan don't need to learn more. You can say other guy Haris, maybe he need to learn something from coaches, but the time has passed of the Mohammad Rizwan. He don't need to learn more. That's why I think this is good camp. It is basic aim was to keep the players in contact with the cricket and the cricket activities. This is a good step from Pakistan Cricket Board.
Certainly, Jawad Sahab is very right on the lighter side as well. But Usman, one thing that I particularly want to explore the opportunity for is, I always talk about the, and Usman is wearing a yellow shirt, so I have to talk about Australia. The fact is that whenever they have, a player replacement, it's not just a like-for-like replacement. For example, for a leg spinner will come. The fact is that they will also work on a replacement if they need somebody in the middle overs. They'll get an expert who's been an expert in the middle overs. So that is a tactical something that we can work upon now. For example, we've been claiming that for quite some time now, Pakistan has not worked on a backup wicket keeper. So that is one domain, and on spinners, and particular segments can be worked upon.
See, you have pointed a wicket keeper. That has been a historical problem for Pakistan. If you remember the 2017 Champions Trophy, Inzamamul Haq was the chief selector, and one journalist asked him that you have a backup for every player but not for a wicket keeper. You just have one wicket keeper. If he gets cold, then what would happen? In Urdu, it seemed very funny. कि अगर उन्हें ठंड लग गई तो क्या होगा, and he said कि हम कोशिश करेंगे उन्हें ठंड ना लगे. So it was a very sarcastic comment, right? So this wicketkeeper stuff has been going on. I think Haris is a good option, and there are a couple of options as wicketkeeper. Hasibullah is another one. But the problem with Pakistan is that they don't think long term. You're talking about Australia. Australia always have a backup. If there was an injury to Green, they brought in Webster, and now both of them are playing in the playing 11.
And he rose to the occasion.
And yeah, he rose to the occasion. He was the main reason that South Africa had a big task to cover up in that test final. So that is what South Australians do, that is what Indians do, that is what England do. They always have a backup. They are always working on their first class structure. You're talking about Haris, that he is learning to take singles in this camp, which will take for maybe a fortnight or 2 fortnights. But he will not play first class cricket in Pakistan to learn how to take singles. So I think this is a very, very headline making kind of things, and it will not suffice for players, because there is something called muscle memory, and this is how you are going to play. I spoke about this in the previous segment also, in the previous program, that Afridi cannot be Babar, Babar cannot be Afridi. So it will take time. It's a long term process, and when you are always practicing in major tournaments or series, These are the kind of shots that you learn. How many camps has AB de Villiers or Tilakratne Dilshan attended to try out shots which they actually practiced in the warm-ups and then they brought into the playing conditions. That is what it is. I don't think these are more of headline making. That is how our mentors were, who took around 1 year and did not even provide a single player for Pakistan. This is how this camp will end as well.
This is it's a two-edged sword that we talk about, Usman, because you're friends with many players part of the current structure as well, some of those who I cannot name for obvious reasons. But the fact is that this a desire to play first class cricket, and I know one of them, when he was having a rough patch, he went to first class cricket personally, performed, came back into the team. But the fact is that I think personally, Usman, if I'm wrong, you can of course correct me, that I think for far too long we have blamed only the system for not getting these players to play first class cricket. That desire also has to come within a player, that he wants to improve on the grassroots level in Pakistan.
It is very easy if the board states that you are a contracted player and you have to play a certain number of first class matches. It's very easy. Jabbar bhai was talking about that these players are linked to cricket by this camp. I think they would be more linked if they play first class cricket. You can blame the structure, I don't mind that, but if someone is not even appearing in these kind of structures, then you cannot blame the structure, because you are not featuring in that structure itself. You are not playing first class cricket. You can only blame first class cricket after that. I can give you numerous examples for players who have been playing in first class cricket and have been shining light for Pakistan. Two recent examples, Hassan Ali, he is back in Pakistan fold, and you saw how he played in the PSL now, how he's performing for Warwickshire now. He has a contract with Adelaide Strikers as well. My sources say that even CPL wants to hire him as well. And if you go a little bit farther, you can see Misbahul Haq and Yunus Khan. They used to play first class cricket and they are the shining light for the past 1 decade. Most of our so-called superstars, they don't like to play first class cricket, so you cannot blame first class cricket. Secondly, your selectors pick players from PSL and they don't pick players from first class cricket. So how are you blaming that players from first class cricket are not so good enough? If they're not so good enough, they don't feature in PSL. If they feature in PSL and come to Pakistan side, they feature in Pakistan cricket, that means there is something right that is going on in first class cricket.
Yes, Asif, you'd like to add something, but at the same time, I'd just update our viewers that today the director of the High Performance Center, Akib Javed, and of course he's with the skill development camp. He held a meeting with the coaches as well to discuss all the outcomes of the skill development camp. Yes, Asif.
First of all, I would like to agree with you right before the show. You said Usman bhai doesn't like nowadays anything he doesn't like. I don't know. But he came up with very, very strong points. That he has given some examples like Dilshan and then
AB de
Villiers. They are already, that when we talk about both of them, they were the legends of the game, and especially AB de Villiers. I used to talk to the young players that if you want to become Mr. 360, try to learn the art that how good you are in your defense. If your defense is strong, then you could do anything. So problem with our player is, yes, they don't play first class cricket. And yes, Hassan Ali, I was in the commentary team when I've watched him twice for 2 seasons. He was earlier he was with the Northern, then he was with Lahore, and he was bowling there, and he played the entire full season. Babar Azam, Shaheen Shah Afridi, Mohammad Rizwan, yes, they played good first class cricket in the past, but nowadays they are not concentrating on the first class cricket. So these kind of camps, skills development programs, if Pakistan Cricket Board is, at least I appreciate them, because we do not have domestic cricket nowadays, and they are not going to play any other leagues. No leagues are happening. So at least Pakistan Cricket Board is engaging them in these kind of activities. So I at least give them 5-6 marks. So they are doing something for the betterment of cricket. So I think I appreciate.
But Asif, you also have been part of that first class as a commentator or as a broadcaster. You talk to players and some players who are not part of the structure. Why we have never, tried to gauge this, that why is there a reluctancy from players to play the first class camp? Why is there, anywhere around the world players would be very happy, and I believe that it can not only be about the money, it has to be beyond that.
2 things, financial aspects, and the second thing is fame. Of course, that we had good debate about that Pakistan Cricket Board is not bringing these matches over the TV. Apart from final, yes, they have their own YouTube channel and you could watch their first class cricket over the YouTube. And the second thing is that the youngsters, they're looking shortcuts for the fame. If you are in the Pakistan Super League, the entire nation is watching you and you're earning good amount. So they just concentrate on the Pakistan Super League. Then we brought PGL as well. So the only difference between the Pakistan cricket and Australian cricket that they have very strong domestic cricket, and then they talk about their BBL. We talk about PSL and then we go to the domestic cricket. So this is the only difference there.
Yes, Jabbar Sahab. How would you analyze this entire prospect? And because you have been, in this industry of sports journalism for quite a bit now, you have seen the evolution of our first class structure as well.
Actually, this cricket has been entirely changed. You know, when in the 1780s and before that, there was formation of a team, 5 batters, 1 wicket keeper and 5 bowlers. But you need a wicket keeper with the also must be a good batter too. Just like I will give the example of India. Once India want to make their batting line strong, Rahul Dravid was asked to stay back on the stumps and act as a wicket keeper. And internationally, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, international player, Adam Gilchrist, and a lot of other guys who performed with the gloves and also with the bat. That is the basic issue. What is the need of the time? What is the need of future? We should concentrate on that job, and it is good. You are holding these camps and keep the players busy. But about the selection you were saying, you have to concentrate on the merit and their statistics, their fitness, and all the international demands. Then you can prepare a good team for the international competition.
Well, I think that it's very plain simple, Usman, that let's take an example of Saibzada Farhan. The guy consistently scored hundreds in the domestic T20 Cup, about 2 to 3 hundreds there. In this whole season, he reached about 4 to 5 hundreds. But the question is that had Islamabad United not picked him as a supplementary pick, and then he would have played Islamabad United, and would he ever been drafted to the team on the basis of just those performances outside PSL?
That is itself ridiculing your first class structure, isn't it? If someone is scoring 3 centuries in T20, he has got something in him and is in good form, you have to pick him. That is absolutely true, and that was a shocker for me that nobody wanted to pick him in the first instance. And once he came into the side, he certainly went straight into the playing 11, and then he showed what he was capable of doing. Some players are certainly unfortunate that they get their debut against Australia in Australia where you lose 3-0, and then the one player that is going to go out of the team is you, and the so-called experienced players will continue. That is the problem with your first class structure. It clearly shows that how seriously your first class system is taken, and more so for the franchise owners, because it is at the end of the day business. It's not always about winning trophy, it is always about earning money. You want star players, it's not about only having good players in your side. And with all due respect to Saibzada Farhan, I actually like him as a player, but I think he's not a global superstar, and that was one reason he wasn't picked. But as far as his bat was performing, he was scoring runs at will, and that is what showed what he was capable of, and that was the reason he came into the side. That is all the reason why PCB, I am criticizing PCB, because you are the 4th richest board in the world. It's not that you don't have money, you have a lot of money, and if you cannot telecast your first class matches on television, or you cannot propagate your first class cricket games, then there is something wrong with the board and the policy makers, and it has nothing to do with the players, because players are performing. Those are the players that are featuring in Pakistan national team, and Pakistan won a couple of ICC events as well, and you're not drafting players from outside the country. So it's not that your system is bad, it is just that you are not able to propagate it, and you have to have your world class players playing in the first class arena, so that the first class playing players are actually more enthusiastic, and they want to take the wickets of Babar Azam and Rizwan, and they want to hit boundaries of Shadab and Shaheen Shah Afridi.
Absolutely. But I think Usman touches a very critical point. Asif Ahmad, as a broadcaster, if we're able to broadcast simultaneously matches of the Kaiser Trophy, the National One Day Cup, National T20 Cup obviously is broadcast, One Day Cup is there, but even if matches of the Kaiser Trophy are going live for 4 days, what kind of difference does it make?
Well, I have asked this question to some of the enthusiasts, and they said that we do not know that what's going on in the domestic cricket, because see, sometimes you're not able to open your social media or YouTube, but you can watch easily over the TV. So that's the difference, that when you're scrolling different TV channels, you're watching news, instantly if you watch that the domestic cricket is going on and your players are playing at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium or at Gaddafi's Cricket Stadium, then definitely that you can see the interest of the cricket lovers, and they will know that who is performing well in the domestic circuit. They do know that who is performing well in the Pakistan Super Leagues, just because all of these matches they watch over the TV, and they don't know that why Kamran Ghulam didn't bring to the team, because they didn't know that Kamran Ghulam performed so well twice continuously for the 2 years in the domestic circuit. So this is the difference. First thing. Second thing, the betterment of domestic cricket is not in the shopping list of Pakistan Cricket Board. It's a very harsh comment, though I just appreciated them that they've taken a good decision. But I think that Pakistan Cricket Board need to do something more, some extraordinary stuff for the betterment of domestic cricket. And one of the, I've asked, my sources told me that the Qaid-e-Azam Trophy match was going on at Rawalpindi Cricket Stadium, and 12 stars, 12 first, test cricketers were playing there, including Sarfraz and some other stars. And I've asked them that why the crowd is not here. They said that we cannot manage, it's the security problem. This is what one of the Pakistan Cricket Board members told me, that we cannot organize these kind of things, because if the
he probably knew you're a journalist, and this would probably close the argument. Had he given you any other reason, you would have taken him by the crook.
No reason. I was just speechless. What kind of argument you're giving me? That you organize international matches here, and now you're telling me that the security problem, the concerns of the security problem, and that's why we're not giving, and we're not asking crowd to come and watch the domestic cricket.
Actually, they had
I think that
actually
so
one
these
thing,
kind of, that's why I'm saying the betterment of domestic cricket is in the not in the shopping list of Pakistan
Right.
Cricket Board.
Yes, Jabbar Sahab, you'd like to add something.
I want to say one thing very important, the role of the media. How many media person visit that place during the domestic cricket trophy?
Yeah.
No one.
No
If
one.
he will not watch the player, how is he playing, what are the error, what was the situation, how can you give a guideline to organization?
Then Jabbar Sahab, if they're not visiting, cancel their accreditations. Cancel their media accreditations if they don't come to first class.
When the domestic cricket, Qaid-e-Azam Trophy, no one will stop you. But when we started the journalism, we were due to go there. But at this time, no journalist visits that place. It doesn't know the problem of the players. It does not know the problem of the officials. And how can we, media can give a guideline to Pakistan Cricket Board? Earlier, the Cricket Board officials were talking with the media person. But most likely we didn't met in the Islamabad media persons yet. What is the reason behind it? Maybe a busy person. You can get some media. That is the most important, that gives you a guideline for the betterment of domestic cricket or other issues.
Certainly.
Oh, that guy was a very brave heart. He's speaking to a journalist and stating that we cannot give security. if it was some other journalist other than K. Asif, I think that guy was in trouble.
No. If that person was anyone else than Shan Masood, he was never in trouble. If he was only Shan Masood, then he was in trouble. But thank you very much, gentlemen, for your complete analysis on the skill development camp. Obviously, we've now moved on to another phase where 15 players have been shortlisted. So, you know, it's going step by step where they want to reach as well. Now we're going to be discussing volleyball. Pakistan faces Qatar in the semi-final tonight, Pakistan Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. onwards. This competition takes place at the Isa bin Rashid Volleyball Hall, where it will be held. Of course, the Nations Cup continues. Pakistan has had some stellar performances. To discuss this further, we've been joined by the under-19 coach for the Pakistan volleyball team, Mr. Syed. Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Welcome to Sports Extra.
Thank you very much. Walaikum assalam.
Right, sir. So far, it's been a terrific performance, especially if we look at some of the games as well, which were very tough, including against Vietnam. The boys have done very, very well. How would you analyze their performance so far?
Yes, well, Pakistani team are well balanced and they did a good performance the last 3 matches. Now, as compare now the semi-finals against Qatar. Qatar's team is very balanced because they are, as compare in Pakistan, their ranking is much better against Pakistan. But now the condition is that they all players consist of 14 players. They are foreigner players. Like they give some nationality of the Qatar, and then they play the volleyball from Qatar side. So anyhow, they belong to from some European, some African players are the consist of the 14 players. But anyhow, the Pakistani players are very balanced, and in my point of view, that if the Pakistan will do good service, because the service is well first weapon of the volleyball. If they do strong service, we disturb the research of the opponent, we can easily win. Otherwise, Qatar is very strong. In my opinion, is that Qatar 55 and Pakistan 54.
Well, certainly, sir. How would you analyze the Qatar team at this stage as well? I mean, going against them, we must be very much aware of their game plan and the tactical approach that they have.
Yes. Now I'm already told you that the Qatar teams have the well balanced. They are, especially in their middle blocks, is very strong. And recently they played the friendly matches from European one country to came here to participate the Nation Cups. So this is a privilege as compared Pakistan team. Just Pakistan team played only Kawa League of Furqan of Uzbekistan. And at that context, Pakistan is better in as reception as compared as Qatar. Because Pakistani receivers outside hitters are good as compared the Qatar side. But the middle blockers and Pakistani middle blockers are different. 9 means to say 20 18 like this. If the Pakistani strikers will do good, strong service and disrupt the reception, the result can be positive on the side of Pakistan.
Well, certainly, sir, after this, competition is completed, what is next for the Pakistan volleyball team and what are we focusing on after this?
Yes, after this, we have on focusing on that Islamic Games will be held in the month of November in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. So we continue this same training camps of the seniors, and as well, you know about the juniors. Our two training camps are under process, under 16 and under 19 for preparation for the World Championship will be held in the next month of Uzbekistan. So in Pakistan Volleyball Federation, our chairman Chaudhry Mahmood Yaqub Sahab are working very hardly and very good and searching some good handsome sponsors from all over the countries. Inshallah, we will do better in the future.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Ahmad Saab, for joining us and for your analysis. And I mean, all the best to the Pakistan volleyball team. We're very excited. 6:30 p.m. onwards, Pakistan face Qatar in the semi-final tonight. That's all we have time for. From me and the entire team of Sports Extra, it's goodbye for now.